Hello, Anna Rivas here. It is December 11th, 2017, and I'm going to be doing Lab 6 of the digestive system, where I will be explaining how food, more specifically a cheeseburger, travels through your digestive system when it enters and when it exits. I'm going to be using a diagram just to help see a visual of the body parts that the food travels through. This is my picture diagram that is going to help in explaining how food travels down our digestive system, how food enters and then how food exits and becomes feces. So we're going to begin by talking about how our cheeseburger, while we're eating it, enters our body. Of course, it enters through our mouth. When food enters through our mouth, it is moistened by our salivary glands. Our salivary glands kind of do the kickoff of the digestive process because they do release enzymes that help digest nutrients. So the food travels to our pharynx and then moves its way down to our esophagus, which is a very long muscular tube that helps push food down to the stomach. And digestion also occurs in the stomach, glands in the stomach lining that produce stomach acid and an enzyme that helps to digest protein. Food then travels out of the stomach into the small intestine. And as you can see, the small intestine is actually much longer than the large intestine. The reason why the small intestine gets its name is, as you can see, the very visual distinction is that it is smaller in diameter, but it is much longer. I think it is very important to note the two accessory organs that help support in the digestion that takes place in the small intestine, and that would be the liver and the pancreas. The liver and the pancreas produce juice to help to break down food. The pancreas produces a juice containing several enzymes that can break down carbohydrates, fats, and proteins in food. The pancreas delivers digestive juice through the small intestine through tubes called ducts, where the liver then produces a digestive juice called bile, which also helps in the digestion of many proteins, carbohydrates, and fats as well. Because the small intestine is so large, most of digestion occurs in the small intestine, and a lot of absorption of nutrients, water, and even minerals takes place here in the small intestine. So after food travels from the small intestine, it goes into the large intestine, makes its way down, and it exits from the rectum and the anus. Once food exits, it does become feces. Hi, so after seeing a visual representation with my diagram, I now want to just give a quick verbal summary of how digestion occurs from start to finish. So when we begin to eat our cheeseburger, we begin to chew it, it enters through our mouth. The salivary glands helps to moisten food, which makes it easier to travel down to our digestive tract. So the salivary glands, like we said, has the enzymes that begin the digestion. So food enters through our mouth, down to our pharynx, which is posterior to our mouth, and then it goes into our muscular tube called the esophagus that pushes the food down to our stomachs, where some nutrients are stored and other nutrients become digested, and that moves food from our stomachs over to our small intestine. And after our very long small intestine, food travels into our large intestine, where then it goes into our rectum and out of our anus, where food becomes feces. So that is a quick summary of how the digestive system works and how food enters and exits our body. My name is Anna Rivas, and I hope you enjoyed my video.